Hey guys, Metal Driver 89 here bringing you a Mortal Kombat review. And today I will be taking a look at the Storm Collectibles Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 Sub-Zero. Looking at the sides of the box, you see an image of Sub-Zero on both sides. The back of the box features several images of the figure posed in action. The read-up states, Sub-Zero, an assassin of the Lin Kuei clan, Kuai Liang, commands the power of ice and cold. Unlike other members of his clan, he and his older brother, Bihan, were abducted as children by the Lin Kuei and trained in the techniques of assassination throughout their lives. Though his codename is Tundra, he has now assumed the mantle of Sub-Zero to honor his brother after Bihan's mysterious death. With the help of his fellow Lin Kuei, Smoke, Sub-Zero tirelessly hunts the one who killed his brother. Alright, now that we have looked at the box, let's go ahead and open this figure up and take a closer look at Sub-Zero. Alright, and now that Sub-Zero is out of the packaging, let's first take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So he comes with several pieces of accessories. He has 2 grip hands, 2 karate chop hands, 2 open stylized hands, 2 fisted hands, an extra hand that's attached to a blood effect that has 2 eyeballs popping out, another blood effect, a bloody skull with a spine attached to it, which we did receive a similar piece, or if not the same one, with the Mortal Kombat 1/2 Sub-Zero figure, and several ice effects. That way you can recreate his special moves that he can perform in the game. Alright, before we take a look at the figure itself, I do want to note that the back of the box did say that this is Kuai Liang, the second Sub-Zero. However, this Sub-Zero is based on the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3/Mortal Kombat Trilogy design. In that game, both the bio and the ending of this classic Sub-Zero states that this is actually the first Sub-Zero from the first Mortal Kombat. So if you wanted, you could use this as Bihan in your collection, so this could be your Sub-Zero number 1. But again, the box does say that this is supposed to be Kuai Liang, the second Sub-Zero, so you could really use him as either or. Me personally, since I already have the first figure, I'm probably going to use this as my Bihan Sub-Zero, especially if we do get the unmasked Sub-Zero figure that they showed in one of the conventions. Because in Mortal Kombat 3, Kuai Liang is unmasked, so that would be nice. But regardless of which Sub-Zero you use, it's still a cool figure to have. So looking at the head sculpt, it looks pretty good. We have seen this before. This is actually a reused figure from the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 Scorpion. So the head sculpt is exactly the same. Main difference is he's got the blue mask. Also his eyes, they are white like Scorpion. However, this one, instead of it just being white, it's more of a translucent blue, kind of to give it that ice effect. The back of the mask does have this design going down on the middle all the way up to the front. So that is cool, so that's a little extra detail on that hood. And the mask itself just has these lines. So overall, looks good. We've seen it before. And then look at the rest of the figure. Again, as I stated, this is a reuse of the Scorpion figure, which again, I'm totally okay with because this is really accurate to the games. The ninjas in the original games were just color swaps of the same character design. Paint looks really good on this. I like that he's using the light blue, considering the previous Sub-Zero we got was a darker blue. So this is more accurate to what he looked like in the original Mortal Kombat games. He had a lighter blue rather than a darker blue. And the black lines look really good. Doesn't seem to be any missing paint, any paint splotches. The legs look great. The shin guards look good. Painted very well. Looking down here, again, the paint looks really good. There doesn't look to be any shadowing on the black, but that's okay. The muscles on the legs do give it some nice definition, so it does kind of create its own shadows. Then the lining on the side looks good. Lining on the shoulders look good. So overall, well painted, really nice looking figure. But if I'm going to be honest, this is what I expect from Storm Collectibles, because I do own almost all their Mortal Kombat figures. I own a few of their wrestling figures as well. So they always do a good job with their figures, both in paint, design, so really good, great company. So I'm really happy with how this looks. Paint on the gauntlets and the wrists look good. Looks to be a little bit of blue bleeding there, but not a big deal. Then looking at the chest, you can see that this blue vest, or whatever this is a separate piece, so it's not one solid piece, so you could essentially pull this down and look underneath. He's got the black in there, so it looks really good. There's not extra paint there, no extra shadowing, but again, you don't really need it. And thankfully, this plastic isn't a hard plastic, it's a nice rubbery plastic, so it doesn't hinder any articulation, which is really nice. It's something I like that Storm Collectibles does with their figures. Alright, then going over the articulation, and this figure has a lot of it. So his head is on a ball joint, which allows it to go that high up, which isn't too far up. Can go a little further down. His head can tilt side to side. It can move and twist side to side. There's a hinge at the shoulder, which allows it to go that high up. It can rotate all the way around. There's also a butterfly joint there, so allows for extra movement in the shoulders. There's a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which only goes to about 90 degrees, so some of the articulation does seem to be hindered by the gauntlet there. The wrist can hinge side to side, up and down, depending on how you position the hands. It can rotate all the way around. He has a joint at the diaphragm, which allows it to crunch that far down, go that far back. He can twist side to side at the waist, and he can crunch a little bit further using the ball joint at the waist there. I do believe that's a ball joint. So overall, really good range of motion in the torso. The legs can go that far out, that high up. There is a hidden thigh joint, which is actually really well hidden, so I like that. He has double jointed knees. There is a hinge at the ankle, which allows it to go that far down, that high up, which isn't too big of a range of motion. There is ankle pivot, and he does have toe articulation. Alright, and here's the new Mortal Kombat 3 Sub-Zero next to the Mortal Kombat 1 / Mortal Kombat 2 Sub-Zero. So as you can see, the new one is slightly taller and a bit bulkier than the older figure, which honestly I'm okay with. I do like this design, and I do like especially that he has the lighter blue color. I was never a big fan that the original figure had a darker blue, which is again not accurate to his shade of blue in the original games. I think the only time we saw that darker blue would be in the mirror matches and the Mortal Kombat Mythologies game. Alright, and here he is next to the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat 11 Sub-Zero. As you can see, they stand at a very good height next to each other, and they actually look pretty well, so you could use this in your McFarlane Toys collection as well. And finally, here he is next to the Mortal Kombat 3 Scorpion figure. So you can see they're pretty much the exact same figure, just with a different color scheme, which again is accurate to the games. So this looks really cool. I would be okay with Storm Collectibles giving us the rest of the ninjas using this same figure mold, just like what they did with the original ninja figures. Which in my opinion, I would prefer that, because then that would be more accurate. Because then you can have all the ninjas from the Mortal Kombat Trilogy game, which featured this design. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on the new Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 Sub-Zero? I absolutely love this figure. Again, I've said it many times in the past, I am very happy with what Storm Collectibles does with their figures. So I think this Sub-Zero is a fantastic figure to have in your collection, whether you're collecting just the Storm Collectibles, or if you have the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat figures. So in my opinion, this is a must-have for either of those collections, especially if you are a Sub-Zero fan. So I would say definitely pick this up if you get the chance, because the original one here skyrocketed in price after it sold out, so you don't want that to happen with this figure. So if you like this review, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, why don't you subscribe? I mostly do WWE reviews, but on occasion I do review Mortal Kombat figures. As always, stay tuned till the end to see pictures of this figure in action, and I'll see you next time.
Sub-Zero wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.